A painful anniversary for so many people in this province.
10 years ago today, Cougar Flight 491 crashed over the North Atlantic,
killing 17 people and leaving just one survivor.
Good evening, I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Anthony Germain. Tonight on Here and Now, we remember Cougar Flight 491.
Tonight, one person alive, 17 others dead.
The 2 life rafts have been recovered. Unfortunately, there were no survivors on board.
Everybody here in Newfoundland we're hurting and we don't know what to do about it.
Today is just like the day that it happened.
Only these other families know exactly how it feels to lose a loved one in this way.
Every single person who has a father gets to go bond and do all this and do all that, but to me, I literally had to go see my dad in the ground.
A lot of people sharing their memories of that day 10 years ago. Our coverage begins at Elim Pentecostal Tabernacle on Kenmount Road in St. John's, where there's a memorial service.
And that, as you can see, is where Jeremy Eaton is live tonight. Jeremy.
Well, every year on March 12th, a memorial service is held to honor the 17 people who lost their lives in Cougar Flight 491. So at 9:40 that morning, a routine flight changed the lives of many people in this province forever. Now, this may be hard for some people to hear, but we're going to play the last communication from that flight before it went down.
We are getting prepared to ditch. Please dispatch.
Cougar 9-1, I check. I mark in position there now.
There you go. You got it. Okay, all right. You're doing good.
So trouble with that gearbox sent the helicopter into the water. Now, Provincial Airlines flight flying overhead about 25 minutes later spotted it upside down. Now, 2 of the 18 people on board were able to make it out of the aircraft, but only one person, Robert Decker, survived. Now, for many, this somber anniversary starts where the helicopter took off from 10 years ago, and that's where we heard from some of the victims' families earlier today.
It's a sad day. It's when March comes in, you know, you get that feeling of what's coming, and yeah, it brings it all back. It's fresh again. You kind of replay, you know, what happened that day. And
it's a tradition now, and it's something that we've come accustomed to, and it just feels like it's a part of the whole process of remembering the day. And yeah, do you have anything?
It's the beginning of the day for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a story. We begin here and we end this evening with a lovely church service in their memory at a particular church throughout the St. John's area, and we all come together as family and friends and just celebrate their lives.
John was a life force. He was a very strong, independent man who loved the outdoors, loved music, loved his work. He loved his nursing career.
My dad worked on the Sea Rose, very amazing, hardworking man, an amazing father, a great friend, and yeah, losing him was a very, very hard thing for me to deal with, probably the hardest thing I've had to deal with in my life up to this point.
So in about an hour's time, the families of Birch Nass, John Pelly, and the other victims of that fatal flight will gather here at the church to remember their loved ones that they've lost. Now, tonight there will be a special speaker who hasn't spoken publicly before, and that's the teenage daughter of Gregory Morris. We actually met her earlier today, and we're going to hear a little bit about what she has to say and what she remembers about her dad and growing up without a father. Now, that's coming up later on in the show. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Jeremy Eaton in St. John's.
And today, offshore safety was raised at the House of Assembly, first in tribute to the Cougar crash, then in the form of a call for a separate safety regulator. Here Now's Katie Breen is in studio with more. So, Katie, what is government saying?
Well, in the past, government has been adamantly against the idea of a separate offshore safety regulator, but there was a change in tone today. The offshore right now is overseen by an autonomous safety division within the CNLOPB. That's working for now, according to government, but today, the Minister for Natural Resources said the industry keeps growing. She'd look at the idea of a totally separate safety body. The Atlantic Accord would need to be reworked if that were to happen, but if circumstances change, Cody says the option would be looked at.
As we continue to grow our industry, as we continue to have more project development plans put in place, as we look to the future of our industry, I think we all must be open to ensuring that we are doing everything we can to ensure safety is paramount.
Now, government wouldn't say exactly how big the offshore would have to get in order for them to start exploring the possibility of a separate safety regulator. Cody says Bay du Nord wouldn't necessarily trigger one.
Thanks very much, Katie.
No problem.
Thanks, Katie.
You can sometimes experience mistakes in a safe environment and learn from those mistakes.
Simulating a crash so offshore workers will know what to do. Jane 80 has that story. That's ahead.
Well, we had to come outside today because it is absolutely gorgeous. Sunshine, light winds, temperatures well in the single digits today across most areas in Newfoundland up through Labrador. Quite mild as well. It looks like if you didn't get a chance to enjoy the weather today, good news, there's lots more where this came from. I'll have your full forecast when I come back in a little bit.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, now to the Trent Butt murder trial. The Carbonear man accused of killing his 5-year-old daughter testified today and gave his account of what happened the night Quinn Butt died 3 years ago. The 40-year-old is facing charges of first-degree murder and arson. Quinn's mother, Andrea Goss, has been in the courtroom since the trial began. Here Now's Mark Quinn has tonight's report, but first a caution. Some of the details in Mark's story are graphic.
Testifying on the stand, Trent Butt stood his ground, denying that he intentionally killed his daughter, Quinn. He only showed emotion once, fighting back tears as he talked about her death. Butt says he didn't remember killing Quinn, but he described finding her in bed and, in his own words, concluding I must have suffocated her. Then he said, I felt sick. It was then that I decided I was going to kill myself. Butt has pleaded guilty to the arson charge, but not guilty to the first-degree murder charge. Crown lawyers allege Butt planned to kill himself and his daughter before she died. But on the stand, Butt denied that. He said, I got in bed with Quinn, holding her and kissing her and telling her I loved her. Then I decided how to kill myself and burn down the house. He says he disconnected the fire alarms, slashed his own throat with a box cutter, poured gas in the basement and the living room, started the fire, and then got back in bed with Quinn and cut his own wrists. Crown lawyer Lloyd Strickland questioned Butt's assertion that he didn't plan Quinn's death. I put it to you that that is some cold, calculating behavior, said Strickland. You wanted to take everything, the house, Quinn. You were trying to exert as much pain on Ms. Goss as possible. I didn't plan this, responded Butt. Court adjourned before lunch. The jury is due back Thursday morning for the lawyers' final summations. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The trial for a 21-year-old man accused of killing his mother's partner continued today at Supreme Court in St. John's. Graham Vitch admits to killing David Collins, but his lawyers say he's not responsible because of a mental disorder. Today, RNC officers testified about exhibits collected at the crime scene, photos of blood spatter that reached from the floor to the ceiling of the Logie Bay home, as well as photos of Vitch's tattoos, which read "Family First." The court heard taped phone calls as well between Vitch and a police officer who is trained in crisis negotiation. Now, at times, the accused sounded alert, answering questions about his family as well as his hobbies, and at other times he comes across as groggy and distracted. Vitch faces a second-degree murder charge in connection with the 2016 death of 55-year-old Collins, a well-known pharmacist, and he will be back in court tomorrow.
The chief of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary says he's on a fact-finding mission to make adult massage parlors safer. Joe Boland says to do it, the industry needs regulations, but not everyone agrees. Here Now's Ariana Kelland reports.
Massage parlors in St. John's aren't as conspicuous as ones like these in other big cities. The industry has been around a long time, flying under the radar of regulation. That's a problem, says Chief Joe Boland.
Because they're behind those closed doors. And as sad as this is to say that, you know what, there's people in this province and throughout this country that will buy anything, especially when it comes to sex. And so some of that sex would involve, you know, girls, and some of it would involve violence.
Boland went to the city with his concerns and learned it can't regulate the industry. It only deals with zoning.
We can deal with the land use, so we can, indicate where they can go. And, you kind of protecting the residents of the area from a lot of the complaints that we've had in the past. I think the next step is that you can't just do that and not look at how we can protect the people that are working in those.
Then Boland went to the province with some of his ideas, which he says were formed with the help of people who worked in the industry. A minimum age requirement is regulation number 1.
We'd also like to see that there be no locks put on doors in these particular areas. Hours of operation, so we'd like to see, from say 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. be the hours of operation. And then there's the whole, health checkup of people that work there.
The owner of 2 massage parlors in the city agrees with regulation and an age restriction, but disagrees with any perceived bad reputation. People lie and put all the blame on massage parlors when they are the safest option available, the owner said in a statement. We make sure there are 0 underage ladies working in the industry, and we have not once had any violent instances where people got hurt. We have camera systems and panic alarms for security and a buddy system, something the streets and wannabe pimps don't offer.
Honestly, I don't trust them to get it right, is the problem.
A woman we're calling Vanessa is a sex worker in St. John's who at one time worked at a massage parlor.
It's notorious for sex workers to have regulations and laws and everything put on them without asking the sex workers. And we're the ones who really know all of the problems that we have and how to fix most of them.
It is not illegal to sell sexual services in Canada. It is illegal to purchase it or for a third party to make financial gains.
It's an impossible industry to regulate because it's everywhere and it can be done everywhere.
The police chief says it's about making sure those who work there are safe and of age, not to lock people up.
For a police service to be able to have any type of impact, we have to have either regulations or licenses that we can enforce.
Multiple government departments met earlier this year with Boland and are working on possible solutions, but there's no timeline. Ariana Kelland, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, if you're looking to try the seafood chowder or the buffet at Rumpelstiltskin's restaurant at the Quality Hotel in downtown St. John's, you are out of luck. The restaurant closed suddenly this week, and hotel management says nobody knows why. The phone was ringing off the hook today, but nobody was inside to answer it, and when we tried calling later today, the main number was out of service. The hotel management says the restaurant never opened on Monday morning, and that left employees just standing outside in the cold. The hotel says it has not been able to get in contact with the restaurant owners to find out if they will reopen. The restaurant has been operating from that location for the past 27 years. A former accountant at St. Bonaventure's College has been charged with defrauding the St. John's School over a period of nearly 5 years. Kim Stagg faces 10 charges, including fraud, forgery, as well as breach of trust. Now, according to court documents, the forgery charges relate to monthly bank statements for St. Bonaventure's College, and the fraud and breach of trust charges span 4.5 years from November of 2013 through March of 2018, and that's when St. Bon's fired Stagg and called in the police.
Well, after 2 years of drastic declines, there is a snippet of good news to report in the salmon fishery tonight. Stock numbers are showing a slight improvement. The result of the latest stock assessment was revealed today by federal fisheries scientists in St. John's. There is some concern, especially with salmon rivers on the south coast. Conn River stocks are at their lowest level in more than 30 years, with less than 1% of the fish returning to the river to spawn. But overall, the scientists are seeing signs of improvement.
Just that there was a slight improvement of those stocks overall, as we don't see as
many alarming declines as we have seen in the past 2 years. However, when you look at the abundance levels overall, they're not quite, province-wide, they're not quite up to pre-2016 levels.
Oh, it's being called a landmark agreement has been reached on the lucrative Arctic surf clam fishery. It involves 14 First Nations in Nova Scotia as well as Newfoundland and Labrador and Clearwater Seafoods. The Mi'kmaq First Nation is the only one from this province that's involved in the deal. And according to the news release, the deal is good for 50 years. Arctic surf clam is a bright red tongue-shaped seafood. Here Now's done several stories about this. Exports worth tens of millions of dollars. Revenues topped $100 million in 2017, and in 2018, a group called Five Nations Clam Company beat out several other bidders for a 25% share of that surf clam quota. And then Nunatuavut was also part of that deal, but that was before the federal government canceled it without offering any explanation in July.
Well, now to politics. The NL Alliance is waiting to hear whether it will be allowed to run candidates in the upcoming provincial election. The group collected more than 1,000 signatures from people in 104 communities across the province and has submitted its application to Elections NL. Now it's a waiting game to see what the overseer of elections has to say.
Well, we feel that we have no reason to think that we won't. We have more than the number of applications that are required. We have all the documentation in place, and to me now I don't see anything. It's just a matter of process that we have to go through to become certified, and I have no inkling at all of any reason why we would not be certified.
2012, I offered to the provincial government, and the Eastern Health were down, and the Hyperbaric people, and they showed no interest.
Well, this man says he has a hyperbaric chamber that can treat 24 people at a time, but he says Eastern Health won't use it in an emergency.
Tonight, he's asking why. That's ahead.
Our update is brought to you by 811 Healthline. Medical advice, health information, mental health, and healthy eating. Dial 811. It's free and confidential.
It's kind of nice to see Ashley outside the studio.
Yeah, with no coat on.
Wow.
Out in a jacket.
Yeah, beautiful blue sky.
Yeah, in a skirt.
Mhm.
It's nice.
I got to see my driveway again today.
It's true.
It's been a while.
Everything was melting. Had my sunroof open on my way home for lunch
Me too,
today.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
wonderful.
nice.
It's exciting. Haven't had a sunroof in a while, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. But I was actually sent a really cute video today on my Facebook page. This is JJ, a smooth-coated border collie, and he clearly loves the winter.
Snow shower.
Yeah. So I guess this happens whenever when the snowblower is fired up.
It looks awfully happy.
Loves it.
It's so cute. Enjoying the sunshine there too.
Nice shot too.
Yeah.
There he goes.
That's a happy pooch.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
So warm temperatures, how long is this going to stick around?
You know what? If you didn't get a chance to enjoy, like I said earlier, you've got a couple more days where we're going to see these warmer temperatures actually reach, exactly. We actually reached a high near 5 degrees for most of eastern Newfoundland, even down through Badger and then Deer Lake around 2 degrees. Otherwise, we're sitting in a just above 0 degree mark for Corner Brook. Now, as we head through the next couple of days, the good news is these temperatures are going to continue to stay warm. So we did drop a couple of degrees right now, sitting about 0 degrees in Corner Brook right now. Badger sitting at 2 degrees. And then we've got those temperatures up through Labrador sitting around -5, up through Makovic and Lab City sitting at -10 right now. Now, taking a look at what the setup is, we've got a little bit of a system offshore right now. Otherwise, not a whole lot happening. Just some flurry activity up through Labrador. And then if we zoom in with the satellite and radar for the island, you can see a few flurries along the west coast, and that's because we're seeing that onshore flow, and that will generally continue as we head through the day tomorrow. But here's a look at those winds. This was the wind earlier today, so top gusts in St. John's about 81 kilometers per hour, 41 for Rocky Harbor, and then we've got Stephenville sitting around 35 kilometers per hour. So generally those winds were light into the afternoon, and you can see that right now. This is what your gusts are sitting at, and they will continue to be light as we head through the night tonight, but we are still looking at that potential for a few flurries across the island for the most part with some partly cloudy skies. Labrador, as we head towards the morning hours is when we'll see that potential for snow for western Labrador. Otherwise, not a whole lot happening. But your temperatures are still going to be sitting in the minus single digits, -7 for Corner Brook, -8 for Port aux Basques. And then we've got that temperature around -7 for Grand Falls, Windsor. In lower lying areas, anticipating these temperatures will dip a little bit, and that's because those skies should clear out at some point tonight. And with that, that's when we see those temperatures drop. But up through Labrador, Lab City, -19 tonight. Light winds, again, should be clear skies for the most part tonight. Slight chance of a few flurries for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and -9, and then the Straits sitting around -10. Now looking at the future tracker for tomorrow, we can see just a few flurries expected for parts of Labrador. Same for Lab City. We'll see that move in throughout the afternoon. So it should be a mix of sun and cloud for the most part. Same for most of the island. Can't rule out the chance of a few flurries, especially along the northeast coast tomorrow. And then just a mix of sun and cloud overall. Nothing really happening, and those temperatures will be warm again, generally sitting between 0 and 2 degrees. Again, that slight chance of a few flurries I have in the forecast, but generally sunshine should be the story. Marystown at 2 degrees. Up through Grand Falls, Windsor, and then towards Terra Nova, again, that potential for a few flurries. Harbour Breton, 2 degrees. But these temperatures not really moving much from today. Corner Brook -2, Burgeo 0 degrees as well, with plenty of sunshine up through the northern peninsula. Same thing, winds will be light yet again tomorrow, and then up through Labrador, there's that sunshine I was talking about. Churchill Falls -7, Lab City -5 with that potential for flurries moving in, but overall those winds will be generally light. So when I come back, we'll look ahead a little bit because, like I said, plenty of more of this in the forecast. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ashley. Well, a private company that owns a large hyperbaric chamber in St. John's is questioning why Eastern Health is not interested in using its facilities in an emergency. The Seaforce hyperbaric chamber in this building on Water Street West was installed for use in the oil and gas industry, but has been collecting dust for years. On Friday night, hospitals in St. John's issued a code orange emergency when 79 people sought medical attention for carbon monoxide poisoning caused by a gas leak at a St. John's hockey rink. 4 people had to be treated in a hyperbaric chamber at the Health Sciences Center, but the equipment there can only treat 2 people at a time. Jim Hines of Seaforce says their hyperbaric chamber can treat up to 24 people at once and could save lives in a large-scale emergency. He spoke with the CBC's Fred Hutton.
When you heard about what happened on Friday night at Bussey Horwood Arena, what went through your mind?
It was said by the doctor that they could only treat 2 people at a time in the health science for this carbon monoxide poisoning, and if it was set up here, they could treat 24 at a time, and I thought that was a big miss.
You have offered your service to Eastern Health and the provincial government before, though, right?
Yes, back in 2012, I offered to the provincial government, and Eastern Health were down, and the Hyperbaric people, and they showed no interest. They didn't want to get involved, or I guess in install any money into it.
But they did invest money.
Well, the people of Newfoundland and Labrador have $500,000 invested in this facility, and it's sitting idle here. And it's not a hospital setting, but the people could take advantage of this. If there's an incident like the other night when things happen out of the ordinary, this facility can be used on a daily basis to help what goes on in the health science hyperbaric facility, no question.
Dr. Ledet did say that they only had to treat 4 people, 2 adults, 2 children, but that this could have been much worse. And with 80 people could have needed treatment in there at one point in time.
Yes, and I mean, we can do 24 at a time here, so I mean, it's a miss as far as I'm concerned. The people, the government has a vested interest in this, and they should take advantage of it.
That would involve a public-private partnership.
I mean, we were willing to partner with Eastern Health on this, and they never had no interest in it. But I mean, partnering with the community is the way to go with this stuff. I mean, take advantage of these facilities. I mean, this is worth $5 million. The government doesn't have to invest $5 million or put up a building. They can come down, put in infrastructure they need to help to do the medical portion of this, and let's go to work.
How often does this get used?
It was commissioned in 2012. It's been used in the offshore for about 3 months total, 3.5 months in 7 years.
Could be used for training or for larger catastrophes.
Yep, it could be used for multiple things. This can be used for, and it's not being used at all. It's sitting here now. Before you came down today, we took the tarps off it to keep the dust off it.
Some people might say, well, this is your argument. Obviously, you've spent this money on it. You've got to maintain it, and you're looking for a way to make a profit from it.
No, not interested in making a profit on it. I mean, this facility sits here idle. We just want it to be utilized to help. If they can help the community, we're all about that. We don't want to make a profit on this, but if the government come down and make a contribution of cost towards this and can help the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, they should be all over it.
Kind of like what they do with search and rescue.
Same sort of thing. I mean, I don't know why they're not, they don't take more advantage of places like this, especially in this day and age.
When is the last time you contacted Eastern Health or the provincial government to try to get them to partner?
Back in 2012, they showed no interest, so I mean, there was no interest showed at all, so we just let it go. And since then, we just utilize it offshore when the diving ships are out there through the operators here.
But again, only 3 months' work in 7 years.
Yep, it sits here idle when it could be used for multiple things that health science could be taken advantage of. The hyperbaric facility should be taken more advantage of, and they're not. They have no interest in it.
Do you know why?
I guess it's for economic reasons, I guess. I have no idea. I mean, it's not a hospital setting, like I said, Fred, but it's, when things happen like happened the other night, you will certainly take advantage of a facility like this for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, that issue also made it to the legislature today. Health Minister John Haggie was asked about why Eastern Health does not have an agreement with Seaforce to use its hyperbaric facilities. Minister Haggie responded by commending emergency personnel and saying the issue is being discussed.
They rose to the occasion, they put their emergency command centre in place and dealt with the situation whilst dealing with everything else they have to deal with on a weekend. The issue of hyperbaric oxygen is a very infrequent occurrence. We have been in discussions with Eastern Health about their requirements on a go-forward basis, and once they've finished their debrief, I expect to be able to provide further information, Mr. Speaker.
Now, late this evening, we did receive a reply from Eastern Health. It says the chamber doesn't meet many of the clinical requirements for a medical hyperbaric chamber and isn't designed for providing care to critically ill or disabled patients.
And in a statement to Here and Now, Eastern Health says those people must be treated in a hospital. Well, going to go to another medical story now. Newfoundland and Labrador has the highest rate of diabetes in the country, and we are ranked 3rd worst in the world. Well, now medical students at MUN are urging the government to expand coverage for insulin pumps, saying it'll pay off big time in the long run. This is as part of the Provincial Day of Action. Students are pushing the province to lift the age restriction on the current program.
Currently, the pump program in Newfoundland and Labrador only covers individuals without insurance until the age of 24. So at the age of 25, they lose their coverage. Type 1 diabetes is, like I mentioned, a lifelong chronic illness with a ton of potential complications. It requires a lot of management. And for those who are medically eligible, a pump improves people's quality of life. Young adolescents, young adults, working parents, professionals, it improves their quality of life so much so more than moving into multiple daily injections of insulin. We also chose this topic because it's hugely economically favorable. It's only a small proportion of the patients with type 1 diabetes who do not have coverage. However, it's been shown that good glucose control, such as which the pump allows, drastically decreases the complications down the line of chronic kidney disease, hypertension, peripheral neuropathy, retinopathy, so blindness, all sorts of problems down the line. So these complications cost our government so much money, and by being able to provide people and patients with the tools to better manage their care, we're saving that money down the line. So all economic forecasts have been favorable. The quality of life for young adults at 25 is really important. So, these are young adults at the prime of their life, and I don't think that we can undervalue the impact of someone who has tight control over this chronic disease, their ability to fully function in society, to live a good and happy and fruitful life.
After the Cougar crash, that impacted everyone in the community, and everyone was starting to think about how could we improve safety in the offshore.
Minds in the days and months following the Cougar Flight 491 crash.
Up next, one of the ways that offshore travel is being made safer. Well, imagine you are an offshore worker on a helicopter flying out to an oil platform and you hear the words, "Prepare to ditch," from your pilot. The adrenaline surges through your body and you raise your arms as you assume that brace position that we're all taught. But are you going to actually remember what you're supposed to do, or is panic going to take over? Well, now a St. John's company is working with the Marine Institute on a helicopter simulator, and the goal is to help offshore workers become more comfortable when they're in the air and to get them better prepared for emergencies. Jane Adey from CBC Radio's The Broadcast has that story.
May I have your attention, please? Welcome aboard for the flight to Sea Rose. We will be about 20 minutes en route, cruising at 2,000 feet initially.
We take off in a helicopter simulator. In 20 minutes of simulated flying, anything can happen. Those on board feel all the ups and downs as they would on a real chopper. Their challenge is to remember the survival protocol and perform it as they would in real life should anything go wrong. This simulator was developed by a Newfoundland company, Virtual Marine, in hopes of making offshore workers better prepared for the worst-case scenario.
So after the Cougar crash, that impacted everyone in the community, and everyone was starting to think about, like, how could we improve safety in the offshore? Our company, our expertise is maritime simulation, so we're very good at modeling boats in the water and even a helicopter floating in the water. But the part about the helicopter in the flying through the air, of course, we have no expertise with that whatsoever. Cougar really helped us out a lot. We created a small helicopter flight simulator. We brought it to their office. Their lead pilots got onto the simulator and they flew the different types of maneuvers that they would fly if they ever had to ditch at sea.
This is an emergency. We have a malfunction that requires us to make a controlled ditching. Ensure your seatbelt is fastened, put your hood up, and adjust your zipper to the sealed position. On the brace command, assume the brace position. When the helicopter comes to a complete stop, remain in your seats and follow the instructions of the flight crew.
The chopper shudders and passengers prepare to ditch. The seats lower to absorb the impact. The reactions and adrenaline levels of those on board are being carefully observed. Do trainees remember the protocol? Are there steps that they miss, and why? Vital research is ongoing to make training more efficient and effective. Liz Sanley works in ocean safety at the Marine Institute. She studies skill learning over time.
You're getting that experience of the physically doing the task. So you get to go through the steps, you get to experience them. You can sometimes experience mistakes in a safe environment and learn from those mistakes rather than just watching somebody else do it, for example. And you also can simulate some of the feelings. So you can hear the sounds, you know that you're in a different environment, and that can better match some of the more advanced training or perhaps even in a real emergency.
The simulator isn't being used to train workers yet, but the hope is it will soon, and training that currently takes place in a classroom will be augmented with simulation.
It's a big responsibility to have this evidence to make decisions when it comes to regulations, when it comes to decisions about training, to have it based in evidence, and you have the science to back up the decisions that are being made because it's safety that's at stake.
Safety for workers and greater peace of mind for families of workers making a living in the offshore. Jane Adey, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, there's growing unease about one of Boeing's most popular planes. Air Canada has canceled multiple scheduled flights to London after the UK closed its airspace to the 737 MAX 8. That's the type of plane involved in last weekend's deadly crash in Ethiopia.
I would hope that, if there was truly a problem with the architecture of the aircraft, that the FAA would step in.
The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration is one of the only major regulators to not suspend these flights. Air Canada cancelled Flight 822, scheduled to leave St. John's for London's Heathrow Airport on Wednesday night. And a flight scheduled to leave Halifax tonight, bound for Heathrow Airport, has also been cancelled. Air Canada says it's working to rebook affected customers as soon as possible through its Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa hubs. Impacted customers can rebook their flights at no added cost. Well, in just a few minutes, family and friends of the victims of Cougar Flight 491 will remember their loved ones at the Elam Pentecostal Tabernacle in St. John's.
And tonight they're going to be hearing from a new voice, somebody that hasn't spoken to the public before. Here now, Jeremy Eaton is outside the church and he joins us live. Obviously busier now than it was earlier in the show. So Jeremy, what can you tell us?
Well, as you can definitely see behind me, it's starting to fill up here. This is the 10th anniversary of this memorial service. And this is a celebration of the lives of the 17 people who died in that crash. A chance for their family and friends to gather and remember them. And tonight, for the first time, Erin Morris, the daughter of Greg Morris, will speak publicly about losing her father 10 years ago when she was just a little girl. Now, earlier today, we caught up with her at the helicopter memorial at Quidi Vidi Lake.
I'm just going to speak out the truth and what my life has been like for the past 10 years and basically what my life is like today. Like, you know, with my dad being gone and, you know, how much, you know, I miss him so much. I was very young when he passed away, so basically all I can remember is that he was a fun-loving person who loved to do jokes and stuff like that. It feels like he's here. It doesn't feel like he's passed away. It doesn't feel like anything. Like, it feels like he's still here and it feels like he's offshore. It hits you in your head that, you know, he's not here, but it sort of feels like he's here every single moment of every single day. When I'm away, if I'm doing something, if I like go somewhere, it just feels like he's there.
What do you remember about him?
Well, that, you know, that he was loving, and I will always be his little girl. But like the most thing I can remember is that his smile. He loved jokes and he loved watching football, and mostly he loved my grandparents and he loved his brother, right? So basically, the thing that I can remember about my dad is his humor. I literally have to go see my dad in the ground, and it's just not fair for me to do that anymore. I really can't handle it anymore. it's just not fair that, you know, every single person who has a father gets to go bond and do all this and do all that, but to me, I literally had to go see my dad in the ground.
Now, Erin is here tonight, and I've been told that she will not be reading from any notes. She's just going to speak from her heart. Now, as everybody knows, Robert Decker survived the crash, and while he doesn't speak publicly about it, he did make a post on Facebook, and this is what he wrote: remembering the 17 people tragically killed 10 years ago and sending love to everyone that this event who's changed this life forever. Sorry, boys. Thank you for all the people who helped with the rescue and recovery, and then he thanks his family and friends for all their support over the years. Now, while it has been 10 years, people who are showing up here tonight tell me that this 10-year period has gone by in a flash, and many of the victims' families are still pushing for and advocating for better workplace safety. Now, that's it for me here down at the Tabernacle. I'm going to throw it back to you two in the studio.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. That's Jeremy Eaton live at that celebration of life following, of course, the 10-year anniversary. Marking tonight on Here and Now, Cougar Flight 491.
Is it? We're done?
This weather update is brought to you by Beltone, helping the world hear better.
Ashley, I am just loving the forecast that you are handing out this evening. But before we get to that, it's Weather Whiz Kid Day.
It is. We have another member of our Weather Whiz Kid Club, and that newest member is Kate Thorne. So we'll take a look at her photo there, or the drawing that she sent us. Very good. 10 years old, out of lives in Torbay. Holding the snowman's hand there. Nice.
And Kate, you'll have to do another one today with him much smaller than he is right now.
Nice the snowman won't like the weather right now, but we certainly do.
We certainly do, yeah. And there she is there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool glasses.
Beautiful.
It's so nice. I love getting these Weather Whiz Kid entries. And if you have one that you would like to send us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca with your name, how old you are, your address, so I can send you a postcard in the mail, and then of course your drawing, which is they've
Work
been
of art.
so lovely. Yes, they've been so great.
So we've been having what was above zero today, and we're looking at above zero tomorrow. How much longer are we going to be in this kind of warming trend?
At least through the end of the week.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And they're
Clean
just
the golf clubs?
Yes. Well, maybe don't get too excited about that.
A little bit of time, yeah.
I'd do that too. That's a good idea. But yeah, we take a look at the future tracker as we head through the day on Thursday. Again, not a whole lot happening. We are looking at that potential for a few onshore flurries along the west coast. Otherwise, it does look like a mix of sun and cloud again on Thursday. And then we'll start to see that next system move in, but that'll start to happen on Friday. So the forecast through the day on Thursday looks absolutely gorgeous. There's your temperatures. Lab City, again, we'll see that snow move in, but should hover around the 1 degree mark. Otherwise, we're looking at minus single digits up through Labrador and then towards the Straits as well. Otherwise, we should sit above zero. These temperatures could climb maybe even a degree or two more than what you're seeing here. But Corner Brook about 1 degree, same for St. John's, and then Marystown 2 degrees. And it looks like plenty of sunshine. So that's certainly good news there. As we head into Thursday, though, or rather Friday, our next weather maker moves in. This one is bringing with it a pretty significant push of warm air. Now, we're going to see mostly snow event, at least for Friday, up through Labrador. And then as that warm air starts to move in with that southerly flow, we'll see a changeover up through Labrador through the day on Friday. And then into Saturday, or rather through the evening on Friday and through the day on Saturday as that real push of warm air moves in. These temperatures could be flirting with the 8, maybe 9 degree mark for some areas, and then up through Labrador as well. We're going to see that change over to rain. It'll quickly change back over to snow as that low tracks a little bit further north and we get into that flow in behind it. Those temperatures will drop. But Saturday overnight into Sunday, staying warm again through most of Newfoundland. But then again, as we continue to track a little bit forward, we'll get into that northwesterly flow, and that's where we're going to see things change back over to snow generally along the west coast there. So here's a look at the 5-day forecast for St. John's and eastern Newfoundland. We're looking at about 2 degrees tomorrow, 1 on Thursday, and then there's your temperatures jumping up. So 5 on Friday, plenty of sunshine. That looks like that will be a phenomenal day. And then Saturday, 7 degrees with that rain moving in, and then windy conditions expected on Sunday. For central Newfoundland, same thing, 6 degrees as we head towards Friday. Those winds will really pick up on Saturday and then stay warm, it looks like, on Sunday. And then we're going to see those cooler temperatures, though, make their way towards western Newfoundland, as I mentioned, and stay windy on Sunday with a temperature near -2. Everything will change back over to snow, but before that, 5 degrees again on Friday, which looks absolutely beautiful. Up through eastern Labrador, same thing. Look at your temperatures Friday and Saturday up above 0, and then we start to dip. Temperatures really start to dip, though, for western Labrador as we get into another cold air mass through the day on Sunday, but overall, it doesn't look like too bad of a forecast. So that's a look at that. I will have your weather photo when I come back. Anthony?
Thanks, Ashley. Oscar nominee Felicity Huffman and TV star Lori Loughlin have been charged in a college admissions scam. They're among 50 parents, coaches, and exam administrators accused of helping kids cheat their way into elite U.S. schools.
This case is about the widening corruption of elite college admissions through the steady application of wealth combined with fraud.
Well, prosecutors say a college prep business was behind this scheme. Wealthy parents, including Hollywood stars, paid a lot of money to guarantee their children's admission into prestigious colleges. Authorities say many of the students didn't even know just how far their parents went to get them into those Ivy League schools. I'm going to switch a bit to sports now. Yeah. Big night for a really big Habs fan. Sam Smith is going to get to watch his favorite team play from a VIP seat. Thank you very much. Yesterday, though, an even bigger day for this New Brunswick boy.
Yes, thanks to the Children's Wish Foundation, he got to skate with his heroes in Montreal. CBC's Jade Turnbull has the story.
I'm very excited and nervous at the same time.
It takes an awful lot to intimidate Sam Smith. So, the 11-year-old they call Sam the Warrior isn't going to let Carey Price phase him.
I hope I can score on him.
Where are you going to go?
Probably bottom left.
Is that his weak spot?
I don't know, probably. He's pretty good up high. He can rob you sometimes, so I'll try and go low.
Thanks to the Children's Wish Foundation, Sam got the chance to fire some pucks at his idol and talk shop with the boys, like Max Domi and fellow D-man Shea Weber.
Probably just go one way, the other way, and then bottom left.
Yeah, he's not going to see that one coming.
No.
How's your day going?
Good, you?
Good, good, yeah, just worked out. Did some signing and stuff, you?
Yeah. I just signed my contract.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice, congratulations.
Thanks. I don't think there's any money involved, but it's all right.
Oh,
Sam read Price like a book.
See, it worked!
It hasn't been easy for Sam. It began with a rash nearly 2 years ago that never got better. Finally, last year, doctors broke the bad news. Sam had cancer.
First day of chemo, and when he lost his hair, or we had to shave it because it was coming out in chunks. Those were the 2 days I really can recall that Sam actually was down. He was a trooper and a warrior, and he really only had 2 days of being very, very upset. He did phenomenal.
Sam says the day he was diagnosed was the saddest of his life, but he says he didn't dwell on it.
Just do it, because I was like, you know what? I just get over with it, and then I get to go back to having fun. And just like today, this is a lot of fun.
Today isn't about being sick. It's about being well and having fun. It's about meeting heroes, like his favorite player, Brendan Gallagher.
Honestly, it makes you think it was worth it to fight and go through it, because then you get to have a great moment like this.
Jay Turnbull, CBC News, Montreal.
Well, there's our weather photo of the day today.
Oh, I feel like I should know where this is.
Really?
It's about 30 kilometers southeast of Reykjavik in Iceland. It's, okay, no.
I'm not even going to give you that chance.
Oh, it's
really?
Portugal Cove.
It is Portugal Cove.
Of course,
It's a beautiful shot. It certainly feels like spring is in the air everywhere. And Gary Cole captured that perfectly in his photo today. Getting lots of photos like this today, so
you gotta
keep
see
them coming.
Newfoundland from a boat. I mean, it's amazing how different the shots are when they're just off the shore a bit. It's a great shot. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you so much, Gary. If you have any photos you'd like to send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
All right, and that's it for us. Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.